Hey, what's going on? It's me, Logan Sama here, back once again exclusively for esports.gg, and we are going to take a look at what, for me, has been the greatest set of Street Fighter V in the online era. In this pandemic era where offline events have almost been exclusively shut down, for me, Punk vs iDom in the CPT NA East this weekend was the greatest set online I've seen. This weekend saw one of the most high-profile regions, NA East, fight it out over their first CPT online event of the season, and all eyes were on two of the strongest players in the world today. Having relocated back to his native East Coast for this season, Punk is now back in the mix, and the focus is heavily on his ongoing rivalry with former Capcom Cup 2019 champion iDom. Whilst their most famous battle is undoubtedly that Capcom Cup 2019 Grand Finals, which saw iDom run it back from the loser's side and take the crown on that occasion, Punk has been an ever-present threat on the East Coast since his emergence in Street Fighter V in Season 1. More recently, their meeting online in the Intel World Open sparked controversy as Punk called out connection issues as the reason for his loss on that occasion.
The massive likely backdoor to the corner.
EX, what's your decision? The reversal. Okay, sorry, chase him down, but iDom knows it's a one-touch situation. EX. I can't believe he did that. Oh, man, kick that do it. iDom taking Punk to losers.
How on earth does iDom do it?
Ahead of their top 8 showdown, Punk used his pre-match quote as an opportunity to remind the viewers and iDom's fans of their last offline meetings in 2020's Street Fighter League competition.
Checking the movement against iDom. Punk is all over the screen. You talk about the movement. You talking about the movement.
Oh my
He's
God,
moving.
the disrespect.
Punk was victorious in Week 8 in a set which went down to the wire with a Colleen pick that time, and then repeated the victory in the playoffs in an emphatic fashion.
Enough. Thro's gonna do it, and Punk eliminates iDom, putting themselves at quite the advantage, and you could see the pop-off, the subtle one, but still one nonetheless from Punk.
Yo, Punk felt that one. The pop-off, looking Punk right in the eyes. iDom, they dap it up. Good games nonetheless.
This matchup alone, we're not going to hear the end of it. Without a doubt, no matter what the outcome is, we're not going to hear the end of it, and that's exactly what we're here for. It's exactly what we're looking forward to. It is going to be
opening up with the familiar picks of Karin for Punk and Poison for iDom. It was Punk who immediately set pace with a number of really impressive plays in Game 1. In particular, his readiness to convert this trade into a big combo.
Oh, the big trade. Remember, we talked about that earlier. It's ill-advised to contest the Orochi after a stand heavy punch, and that's exactly what Punk did afterwards. Threw in the stand heavy punch,
come on!
dashed up in there, making sure the peripherals are in check. I like that.
And then his spacing to whiff punish Poison from way downtown.
To control with.
Dude, was that a whiff punish versus down fierce from afar? That was fantastic by Punk.
He took control of the first game in dominant fashion, stalking down iDom and making Poison's long range look ineffective against Karin's excellent walk speed.
To set himself up for the perfectly timed critical art. Boom! That's going to be more than enough.
In an almost checkmate scenario, it looked like iDom was resigned to only building EX meter, whiffing special moves at full screen as the clock ran down. But Punk was still switched on when iDom tried this last-ditch jump-in attempt.
Let that whiff, and Punk was still aware enough. It traded, but that's
once again, Punk's spacing was superb with another big whiff punish to take a 2-1 lead.
But nah, he was chilling in that corner.
This forced iDom to go back to the character select screen and draw for the Laura, which he's also really well known for, to try and bring it back. And bring it back he did. He brought it back to 2-2. But as you're going to see here, Punk was able to close it out in the winner's side in their first meeting and really make a statement.
Abusing that walk speed, getting in and out of the range as he so pleases. The reset, the jab reset at that from the just frame Tenko to apply even more pressure, more so towards the guessing game, excuse me.
Even outside of forward fierce, you know iDom wants to activate at that point. That is what he needs to get things going, and Punk was outside of that.
With Punk able to land a stun in both rounds in this final game, he let everybody at home know who was the alpha.
Not going to spend it, making sure that, yeah, the peripherals are more than working. Orochi into critical art. That's going to be more than
As
enough.
he closes it out with the combo into the CA and advances into grand finals on the winner's side.
Moving on into grand finals on winner's side.
I just want to take a moment to talk about some of the key points in how Punk approaches the Poison matchup, because I think this was certainly the deciding factor in this head-to-head. Poison, certainly a stronger character against carrying than I feel Laura is, and we'll talk to Punk a little bit later on and he'll voice the same sentiment. Poison is able to control a significant range on the screen that makes it difficult to Karin to get inside of and then use some of her hit confirmable normals, some of her better normals to walk down Poison. But Punk was absolutely relentless. He was really good at standing at certain ranges in which he was able to unleash some really phenomenal whiff punishes, but also on moves that were slightly more difficult to punish, he was always threatening the forward dash behind a whiff normal, which allowed him to try and steal some of that space. Whilst Poison is, of course, really effective at controlling horizontal space, I wouldn't really call her a zoner. She's definitely capable of putting a lot of pressure on offense, and one of the tools that allow her to continually do that is EX Heart Rate. Whilst that has been nerfed this season, it's only +1 on block now, where it was +2 before. She's still able to gel you here with her 3-frame standing light punch. That means that the button will not only stop you being able to jump out, it will stop you from being able to backdash and you'll get a grounded combo, but of course it will also beat any interruption you might have with a non-invincible move. Punk was really good at mixing up his defensive options though. He would V-reversal a lot, and that would come into play a little bit later on. He was very good at mixing up throw teching, backdashing, and backdashing after a first block normal. All three of these things mean that Poison really has to be a lot more mindful in terms of how she wants to pressure. In this situation as well, now that she's only +1 on block, it means that she can't guarantee a throw. A throw being 5 frames, she's only +1, that means there's a 4-frame gap, and Karin has a 3-frame, as you can see here, she can interrupt. What she can do is press a 3-frame jab and then still be in range for a throw afterwards, and she'll have the frame advantage to do that. What Punk would do is block that first jab and then backdash afterwards. Now, if you want to go for a galactic brain read, you can get counter hit by the first jab, cause the throw to whiff, and then punish. But I certainly wouldn't advise that as a reliable strategy. But all these things are things that Poison players have to think about now that they're pressuring after EX Heart Rate against characters with a 3-frame button. Now, you can completely mitigate this if you want by doing an early V-reversal, gets rid of all of the frame advantage, and of course scores a knockdown for Karin, and she's able to get back to playing the neutral game. I was able to speak to Punk about this and his use of V-reversal in the set.
Yeah, so like when she's in a corner, that's 100% of the time you're going to be reversal heart rate, right? Because I get the knockdown, I get to run my offense. And when she's close to the corner and you can actually push her there, even if you're not going to get the Oki, I think it's very important to just like get her in the corner, because you dash, you're only -1 with Karin. So like you just dash and block, and you know, you're right in her face now, and now she has to make the decision on what to do. And so I think that's very important. And you know, I feel like when you don't have the reversal, you do have to guess, but I think blocking the first jab and then backdashing is probably one of the best answers, because you know, you're so close to her still after the heart rate, even though it's +1 now, but you still have to really guess. So you don't really want to backdash immediately, because when Poisons have V-trigger, they do a lot. They just do stand jab into the kick, the special move kick that launches you, and then they throw the Molotov, because, you know, if it is blocked, it's just safe. It's only -2. And if the first jab hit and you try to backdash, you'll get full combo into like 40-30%. So you just have to really be careful on knowing when to backdash and when to just, you know, sometimes you can just take the grab and you just gotta afraid that you can get back in it sometimes.
But we'll see if iDom has the heart to change fate.
Poison is what he goes back to again. It's what he started out last time. He went to Laura afterward. Poison didn't work out, but he's gone back to it now. He knows it. He's just hunting for that one. It's not going to come up. Not in this game. 1-0 for iDom in this first set. Right. Yep, he's got it. Maybe. Okay, it wasn't even a combo. Punk in trouble. He knows he can't get touched, but he is here. There's nothing invincible on...
Oh!
I really wanted to try to get this stun up. I probably shouldn't have done that combo. I really wanted to get the stun up so bad. That would have been like guess for game there.
And the throw, the reset happens. iDom resetting the bracket entirely 0-0.
iDom was able to reset the grand finals pretty easily. As I said, Poison is a very solid character up close. Her pressure is legit, and she is able to convert into some massive damage. iDom, of course, knows this, and he will be very used to people trying to V-reversal his pressure. He had some incredible answers to that. You can see him using the stance cancel to get out of range of the V-reversal and get a big whiff punish. You can even see him use the V skill to cause the V reversal to whiff and get a punish as well. He had an abundance of answers to deal with predictable V reversals in these situations. It looked quite uphill for Punk in the second set as iDom went ahead 2-0.
Trying to close the gap, EX Tenko, oh boy, reversal. Reset the situation, iDom with a huge lead and one touch. Gets
iDom, he's playing good, bro. I might have dug my grave.
Punk is in trouble. He's got all the resources in the world. Can he even find them, though?
Plus frames, there's going to be one V reversal. If he does it again, oh boy!
Oh, the fake out as iDom.
Bro, I'm checking nice. Ah, alright. This could be the end of the road. Nah, like, in those moments is actually when I just be the most confident. Like, you know, like I talked a lot of trash after winning finals, so I'm like, after being down the reset and then being down 2, I'm like, well, you know, I'm just thinking, well, I dug my grave. I got to lay in it now, so. I had no excuses. I went back to Philly to play. It wasn't, you know, I didn't get any lag, so, you know, I was still very confident. Actually, when I won the round, like when I won that second round in the last game, he was up 2-0, I was like, okay, I think I understand. Like, I felt like I unlocked a different part of the matchup. Right there, I'm like, okay.
It's really interesting to hear Punk talk about how confident he feels in those moments when he appears to be down and out. And then hearing him say that he felt like iDom was, you know, done for in the moment when he caused him to switch to Laura. That level of confidence in a player like Punk is a terrifying prospect.
Yeah, when he switched, I'm like, okay, I just don't think mentally he's there anymore. He knows that he probably feels that I'm getting better right now at the Poison matchup, because I mean he came in hot, right? The one game Laura. Why not stick with Poison? I feel like he's doing so good with Poison, right? Why not just stay with her?
Oh yeah.
Without a doubt, Punk the God, iDom, down here in game number 4. iDom in the lead currently, does make the switch up to Laura.
One of the most interesting differences, I think, between Punk and iDom is their defensive choices. iDom, you're going to see here, gets throw baited quite a lot in this set with Laura. Specifically when Punk dashes up and then back dashes and catches the delayed tech with the medium kick here.
For Punk, and he's opting to go for the medium kick.
Just
nice and safe.
Oh, okay, again, it's the same option, and now Punk has battled back from being down 0-2 to put himself at tournament point.
In the final game, you're going to see Punk has a significant life lead, and he is very happy to just chill and take the throw. He doesn't want to open himself up to any big damage at all. He's happy to just be calm and patient. He's well aware that the threat of big damage and big stun, more importantly, against Laura from going for a throw tech is much more dangerous than the actual throw and post-throw situation itself. Here's the activation. He's going to get hit and he's going to get put back towards the corner. He's going to try and evade. He gets juggled by the elbow. Now he's in the corner. He's going to V-reversal for dear life. Wants to get rid of the stun. Stun against Laura is death. As soon as he takes this throw, take the EX command grab afterwards, but he's back to a spaced situation now, and here you go.
Let's go! I'm the greatest!
takes.
Nobody get with me, bro. Out of here, bro.
I think one of the things that Punk has shown here is the most important thing in Street Fighter V is surviving. There's so many opportunities to make big comebacks or land big burst damage in Street Fighter V that survival needs to be your main aim. Damage mitigation, stun mitigation are very, very important. Now, even if you're left on a pixel of health, you're in with a chance in this game. Especially a character like Karin, who can land enormous burst damage and looping Oki so that her offense continues over and over again with each hit. I think if you can avoid death, and that sounds very obvious, but there's situations in which you can make your opponent work a lot harder. Additions of mechanics like V-Shift, which we saw in our Red Bull Kumite video used by Mr. Crimson so well, allow characters that are strong in neutral to return to neutral and get back to playing that game. There's a lot of situations in Street Fighter V where you can force your opponent to throw you and not get a guaranteed situation afterwards. That means that you're taking the damage, but you're not putting yourself in a situation where you have to be in real fear of dying on the next hit. And for me, that's really important as a high-level competitive player. These guys need to be in with a shout. They need to be in with an opportunity to win, and they're doing that.
Y'all probably thought it was over, but it ain't never over until you put me down, bro. My confidence was at an all-time high when I was down 2 games in a round that last set. I felt the most confidence ever. I got 4,000 viewers. It's like an all-time high. I don't think I've ever had 4,000 viewers. Thank you guys so much, bro. Listen, man, I don't want y'all to talk trash about iDom. You know, just leave that to me. I think, you know, y'all shouldn't talk trash. I don't want y'all talking trash about them. I'll talk the trash for y'all, and y'all don't have to talk it. You know, just let one person do it, and that's me. You know, y'all just leave them alone. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't have to do that, bro.
Whilst the Punk iDom rivalry is something that Punk doesn't really acknowledge in existence, it's certainly something that's discussed heavily online. And it was really great to see, you know, Punk put this message out to his fans to leave that direct rivalry, that direct smack talk to him, and to not get onto iDom himself. iDom, of course, will be back to compete. There's another NA East coming up later in the season, and of course we'll see iDom competing for many years to come at the highest level of Street Fighter V. We're going to be back with more content here on esports.gg covering Street Fighter V from myself, but until then, make sure you're following and subscribing, and look out for a longer form Punk interview coming up later this week.